Hey, good afternoon. Sorry, this is going to be extraordinarily short. More of just an update, letting you see that I am still here. I still exist. We've had some computer issues and tech updates, tech problems, not updates, but that limit me from doing these streams for much more than only a few minutes. If you didn't notice, the last video we did, only like a minute of it showed up on YouTube, and it's an issue on my end on the computer. So we are in the process of trying to see what we can or cannot do to fix that, and it should be resolved this weekend. So I just want to clarify a couple things in terms of what is expected from this week. If you guys notice, I've pumped the brakes on grading a little bit. Some of you have fallen a little bit behind. I'm trying to let everybody catch up. I've got a lot of you who have caught up and is going in focus as we speak. The things that you probably need to know more than anything, even though there's only a couple of viewers, better than some people hear this, and that way you can spread the word amongst yourselves, is this. There's 3 assignments this week. You would have had a discussion board. You would have had a worksheet that was, I believe, yesterday. And then today I put up a... was there a video yesterday? There was no video yesterday. It was 2 days ago, I recall. The video I posted in Schoology as an assignment, you guys should have seen today. I just want to make sure you guys have all seen it. It should be there. It's a video that I always show in class every year. It's kind of I like being there to watch what happens. Comparing. Oh, that's not visible. It's there. It's graded. It's in focus. It's just not visible to you yet. I'll make it visible to you. You got 100. Just to let you know. Most of you did. So you did a good job. So what I would ultimately tell you guys is that the video today that you guys are watching, it's like 18 minutes long. It's not that bad. It's not that rough of a watch. I think it's interesting. It shows the World War II through numbers. It is really sad, actually. If you look simply just at raw data and numbers, even though it's not, what was I going to say? If you look at the war in terms of sheer number of people compared to the global population, there's been worse wars in human history. But but World War II showed you just how devastating that war was to the world, and it kind of explains why we've been in what we call the prolonged peace, or I forget what the exact phrasing is the era of long peace since World War II. And World War I really was kind of a message for the world, like, hey, we really don't need to be doing this, especially with the technology at our disposal. But World War II, was kind of like the drop the mic moment, and it was extraordinarily devastating. Morally, absolutely, World War I by far, in terms of not counting the Holocaust and things like that. If we're talking, the world had a much different view of war prior to the Second World War. Okay, so in the First World Wars, the world view, fighting in war was. Are we taking notes? Not today. Like I said, today's video is going to be very short. I just want to make sure this posts to YouTube. If I can get it fixed today, then we might have a set of notes for tomorrow. But like I said earlier, I've been having some tech problems as of late. So this is more of a check-in, update, and see how everybody's doing. And kind of going over some things that we said. But what we're saying here is that the First World War showed the world for the first time because photography and actually motion picture was available for people to actually see how tragic and terrible warfare was. Last year I did a little unit on World War I because they moved pretty quickly, and we talked about trench foot and all these things that would occur to soldiers during the First World War, and it was absolutely devastating on the world in multiple ways. And it showed the world for the first time, war isn't this this courageous act that everybody should aspire to, because it shows how brave we are and how much prestige and courage we have. But it really showed just the horrors of war that most soldiers understand, but most civilians don't. And yes, the advent of mustard gas, which is actually, I cannot think of his name off the top of my head, and I feel bad, but the guy who actually created the concept of chemical warfare was actually someone who's super important to human history in the sense that he helped modernize world agriculture. He just turned his his technology from good to evil in terms of the case of helping the Germans utilize chemical warfare. And mustard gas was horrible. Chlorine gas, it was the first time we saw chemical warfare being used, and it was devastating. Hence why people in the trenches always had to have a gas mask, and if they didn't, many of them would eventually drown to death. And it sounds weird. What do you mean by drowning? It's gas. Well, it would cause your lungs to fill up with mucus, and eventually you would drown to death. And it was a very, very unfortunate way to go. So that was depressing and bummery. But ultimately, that video, if you guys do the assignment, and just kind of what kind of sticks out to you, I know I haven't even looked at any of them yet today, to be honest with you, and I'm pretty confident when it gets to the part about the Soviet Union against the German advance, like the siege of Stalingrad and all these things, I'm pretty confident that's going to be what sticks to your mind, just the sheer numbers of Russian and Soviet casualties. And there's a lot of reasons as to why that number was so high, and most of it was self-inflicted upon by the Soviets. It was the 20th century, the early 20th century specifically, was not a great time for Russia. It was a lot of trying to figure itself out, and the Second World War really didn't help things. So 8.7 million, and we're talking soldiers, and we're not talking about civilians. So, I mean, at the siege of Stalingrad, we saw 1 million die in a year. I mean, it's devastating. Well, in comparing those numbers, if you look at those numbers, go back to your Civil War notes and see that in the entirety of the U.S. Civil War, 600,000 soldiers died in that entire war, whereas just American soldiers, we lost about 480,000 American soldiers in the Second World War alone. That doesn't count all the rest of the denominations of those who fought in the war. So I just want to make sure you understand the three things that I've expected of you, because it's been a little hazy with all this technology, and then the school is working on something for you guys. Kind of, I can't really talk about it, but I just know they've tapped my shoulder to work on a lot of it. So that's what we've been going on, hence all the Nolan gear. But now's your time. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Norman, I'll go ahead and make sure that you guys are able to see your presidential precedence video grade. That way that's in. But, I see good afternoon. Let's see, go down the list of people that I've seen. Ainsley, Zoe, Avery, Norman, Noah, Maddie, Hudson, and Jordan. There you are, Jordan. Hey, Jordan. How you doing? Those are the ones I see so far. At least those who have commented in the comment section, and myself, of course. So, like I said, today was it's more of a tech test for me to make sure to see if we can get the stream back up and going. This week has been pretty rough in terms of technology. I noticed it a little bit last week. Do we have to do the assignment today? It's due by Sunday, so it's not due today. But it's just up. This is the first day you can actually access it, was today. Oh, hello, Jake. How are we doing? So, we just want to make sure everything is kind of up and moving. Oh, hey, Savannah. So, I just want to make sure you guys are keeping along with what's coming out and following up. And, I had felt well most of the weekend going into early this week, and now we're back to normal. Don't worry, it's not what you think it is. It's not that. But, now I'm starting to come around too, and hopefully we can get this tech issue figured out so we can go back to doing our live streams and doing all that stuff. Yeah, I don't care how many people show up. It's more about just kind of getting into that rhythm. I miss school. I miss it immensely. Will there be any live? There will be a live tomorrow, assuming this tech thing works today. So we're at 15 minutes, and so far it hasn't shown anything about me getting kicked off. Always sweet to have everything done super early. I know we teachers have come together numerous times in phone calls and trying to do what's best for you guys and try to do the best we can to limit ourselves. I mean, there's some things we have to do, so we can't help it, but there's some things that we do to make sure that the workload isn't too bad. So, like I said, if there's anything else, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. Just to make sure that we're getting here. It seems kind of sad. It's true. We only have 2 more. I can only assign you assignments for 2 more weeks. Yep, I can assign assignments through May 21st, and that's the last day I can assign anything. And then you guys turn them all in, and then, we have a party, I guess. So, a stay-at-home party. And then, I don't know. I doubt the stream would continue. It might continue. It would definitely not be school-related. I might just pop in and play video games or watch a movie. We can do like a Netflix party, watch along. That'd be depressing. Watch like Kung Fu Panda or something. It's like the story of my life. So, alright. Just as a reiteration, you should have done the discussion board on the German bystander. Okay. What we do the last week of school, I don't know. We'll figure something out. But that's the last week I can officially assign assignments. I found how to see what classes they give you next year. I will tell you this: if it's through Schoology, it's not always accurate. Okay, I'm just letting you know that now. They kind of put you in to courses, and then it kind of jumbles when they have to shake things out. Because as of right now, I don't even know what I'm teaching next year. So, just as a heads up. Whew. Master Okeway. Oogway. Oh, okay, well, that's a pretty clever autocorrect there. Master Oogway would be different than Okeway. Okeway sounds like a mediocre Chinese restaurant. Like Pei Wei, except it's Okeway. So, anywho, ladies and gentlemen, the 3 assignments, like I was saying, and I always interrupt myself by looking at the chat, is this. You should have had the discussion board about being a German bystander. That's 1. You should have had the worksheet on the Holocaust, and that's 2. And then you should have had number 3, which was today, which was the video, the fallen of World War II, along with you have a 2-paragraph analysis / reaction to it. So how did you react to it? I just want to make sure you guys get through that. It's a video I would have shown in class regardless. I show it every single year. It provides a lot of weight, and it provides a lot of sometimes you'll watch old videos of things and you'll hear a very boring, David Attenborough, quiet, soft, British voice talking about things, and it doesn't really stick. But when you throw raw numbers and throw it in your face, and it kind of allows you to sink in just how many people we're referring to. And then when they're talking about casualties, they're talking about not, military casualties, which is civilian, or which is injured / wounded. They're talking about the, civilian casualty definition, which is number of people dying. And then you think about the population of those people dying. The average age of the person who died in the Second World War was 23 years old. So it definitely kind of gives you that's 10 years younger than I am. It gives you an understanding of just how much, or just what that time period was like. So, anywho, I'm going to go ahead and log off this stream for today. Hopefully you guys had a good week so far. Hopefully have a good rest of the week. I hope is to see you guys tomorrow. So make sure you get those 3 assignments done and have a good day. Uh-oh, where's my mouse? There's my mouse.